Hey, this is Blake with Peaceful Heritage Nursery, and we are going to be talking about figs again today. And so we are going to be checking out some new varieties of cold hardy figs that have been ripening here at the farm. And we're in peak fig season, so I thought it would be a great time to shoot a video, show you all some more cold hardy figs that are worth growing. Let's check it out. So any discussion on cold hardy figs generally brings up Chicago Hardy at some point. This is Chicago Hardy, beautiful fig. They get nice and plump like this in the high tunnel environment. Outdoors, they generally are smaller. You can see the eye is a bit open for a cold hardy fig that you'd recommend in humid climates, but it tends to handle conditions pretty well. It's got this nice rich strawberry pulp, just delicious, really reliable, really cold hardy, very productive. There's ripe figs just all over the place. Ready to pick. You can see these little cracks that develop on a fig. That means that they are very, very ripe and ready to pick for maximum flavor, texture, and quality. But if you are picking them for market, I'd recommend picking them when they're a little bit soft and colored, but not necessarily with those cracks. Like this one is still a little bit just slightly rubbery outside, but in a day or two on the table at room temperature, that would ripen real good. So Chicago Hardy is one we've talked about before, so I'm not going to talk about it too much here, but it is a top choice for cold hardy fig growing in many climates, including the Mid-Atlantic, the Midwest, northern New England climates, and all the way down to the deep south. And if you haven't seen my videos yet on training figs via the Japanese espalier system, then I highly recommend watching that video, and I'm going to put a link up to it. All right, next we have green eye shea, which they are not ready to pick yet. It is September 25th in here, and the green eye sheas are not yet ripe. They need at least another week or two, and they're an excellent fig, an Adriatic type. They are not one of my top picks for cold hardy figs. The quality on them is excellent, but the fact that they ripen so late means that it's almost October here in Kentucky, and we have yet to pick a ripe green eye shea yet, and we have been picking bowls full of Chicago Hardys. So big difference there. Is a delicious fig, but not one of my top picks. Okay, next, this is LSU Improved Celeste. This is the JF and E strain, and it's an excellent fig from the LSU breeding program. It's basically an unofficial release. A lot of figs, including this one, get this brown spotting at the bottom that doesn't affect the flavor at all, but it does affect the appearance. And a lot of the LSU hybrid figs tend to have these little stripes on them like that, these little striations. That's pretty common from what I've seen with a lot of the LSU Celeste hybrids. This is a really good sugar fig. It does tend to crack a little bit. That's one of its only defects, I would say. The inside is a nice light amber color, and it's a sugar fig, so it's really sweet. It doesn't have that that rich berry flavor like a Chicago Hardy or other berry type figs have, but it's quite good. It's sweet, it ripens early. The first figs in here started ripening around late July, early August. You can see it is prone to getting some fig rust. I don't know if that'd be a problem in most areas, but it is a bit of a problem with certain varieties. Although it is late in the season, and it hasn't really done much to the trees. You can see there's plenty of green figs, plenty of nice green growth. The fig rust damage has been minimal this year. And you can see the other figs in the tunnel don't have the fig rust issues like they had in 2024. And you could notice that if you saw my video on Jesse's channel. The figs were looking a little rough by the end of the season when he showed up. And unfortunately that was out of my control, but that's where we were at that point. This year they are looking better. This is another excellent cold hardy fig. This is Malta Black, and it's a similar to Chicago Hardy. It's a Mount Etna type fig. You can see Mount Etna type figs tend to have these blockier leaves, kind of squarish up here. See, if you look at Chicago Hardy, you see it's got that, also got that squarish kind of look. It's got kind of a blockiness to it. But back to Malta Black. Malta Black is an excellent Mount Etna type fig. The flavor is probably a little bit better than Chicago Hardy, but very similar. You can see it's got that red berry pulp. Inside it's got a rich berry flavor, very, very tasty fig, very silky smooth, quite productive. Starts ripening for us early mid-season, so around early August or so it started putting on figs. The production is slowed down a little bit, but there's still plenty of green ones. And with it being September 25th, we have about approximately 30 more days of fig growing temperatures and sunlight to ripen these figs. So Malta Black, another good cold hardy fig. We have a few new figs here that are just starting to ripen fruit and establish. We've been training them with blocks with the Japanese espalier system. You can see we got some blocks here weighing down the branches. There's the trunk right there. The branches are going out laterally left and right, and that's actually north and south for maximum sun exposure. This is the fruit of green Machornska. So this is green Machornska, and this is one that I really like. That one is just about a day, maybe two from being fully ripe. Green Machornska is an excellent European fig, and it's an Adriatic type. So it's similar to green Ischia in fruit quality and other characteristics, but it ripens substantially earlier. So this one is a mid-season fig, and you can see there's quite a few little green ones here that will be ripening up pretty soon. Gonna go ahead and just sacrifice this fig for the video, even though it's a little bit from being underripe, just so you can see it's got that beautiful bright red interior of other Adriatic figs. And the eating quality on this one is very high. It's got excellent flavor, nice texture. It's got a little bit of that Adriatic zing to it, that nice berry flavor. It's just wonderful. It turns a little bit more yellow when it gets to be peak ripeness, plumps up a little bit. They're not a huge fig. As you can see, you know, the figs aren't huge. They're a little on the smaller side. They can get a little bit bigger than this, but this seems to be pretty close to average. And they have especially beautiful leaves. I really like the foliage on this one. It's got these nice little points everywhere. It's very deeply lobed. It's just got a cool look to it. Really like this one. That's green Machornska. This fig here is Col de Dame Grisée. This is an excellent French fig. It means the gray collar of the lady, basically. It's got this little collar right here on the fruit. It's got like an extra long stem. This one is a later ripening fig too. It's just about ready to ripen, but is apparently a pretty late ripening fig. I think this could become one of my favorite figs. This is Italian 258, also known as I-258. It's an interesting fig that came out of a study that was done in Italy, where some government ag officials went around to small villages all over Italy, and they were trying to locate figs that were high quality. So they were just combing the countryside. And I-258 was one of those. I suppose it's specimen 258. And it's got a really nice look to it. You can see the figs are just attractive, and they're abundant. Produces a lot of fruit. There's just fruit all over it. One of its drawbacks is it's fairly late ripening, so it may not ripen in a short season area. We're just now getting ripe fruit. I'm gonna climb through the fig jungle here to show you. We're just now getting ripe fruit, but you can see the fruit really balloons up in size when it's ripe. That one's about a day or two away from being perfectly ripe. You can see how much bigger it's gotten in just a couple days. I mean, it's almost doubled in size. Gets a light purple / green coloration to it. Here's another one. It's a little bit ways from, a couple days from being ripe. You can see there's a little bit of latex forming on the stem. That's a sign that you picked the fig just a little bit underripe. But this one's still good and edible. You can see it's a really good looking fig. It's got a nice appearance to it. It's a nice size. It's medium size, I'd say. Inside it's got this rich red pulp, Just wonderful. The skin's a little bit thicker on this one, but that doesn't deter from the eating quality. And the flavor of this one is just outstanding. It's got this rich, delicious, complex berry flavor to it. Just a wonderful fig. Has a very simple leaf, almost palmate. And I like this fig a whole lot. I wish it ripened a little bit earlier, but it's delicious, it's productive, and it's just very, very high quality. Hi there. Yeah, she just follows me everywhere. So this cage right here, this is just welded chicken fencing or chicken wire. And we ended up putting this to close up the openings all along the side of the roll-up sides on this high tunnel. And so you can still roll up the side outside. This doesn't interfere with it at all. We put in a self-tamping metal screw and a washer to hold that against the purlins there. And this was a couple $100s to buy the wire and all the hardware. And it has been one of the best investments that we have ever made in the protection of the figs inside this high tunnel. It has basically made this entire high tunnel possum and raccoon proof, which has upped our yields drastically because they were coming in here like crazy, especially this year for some reason, and just going nuts on the figs. Okay, this is one of my personal favorites. This is Smith, and Smith is a French fig that came out of Becknell Nursery down in Louisiana, and it is an absolutely delicious fig. It's not the best looking fig in the world. As you can see, it sometimes gets this discoloration on the end. They have not gotten wet in here. I don't know why exactly that happens, something with humidity or something, but it is an absolutely great fig. There it is, a little bit more ripe right here. Looks like maybe some ants or something were eating on the skin there. This one is just dead ripe. You can see it's got some fig honey dripping out of the eye right there. It gets this discoloration on the bottom, but it doesn't deter from the eating quality. And when you break it open, you see it is just so rich and jammy. I mean, how rich and tasty does that look? And it has got one of the best flavors of any fig I've had. It's got a very rich, complex strawberry berry flavor. It's just really exceptionally good. Seems to handle cold weather well. Ripens early season, actually. It was surprisingly early this year. Oh, she found her way in. It ripened exceptionally early. It was like early August, and it was ripe. Extremely tasty. If you haven't heard of Smith, and you've never grown it, and you're into cold hardy figs and wanting to grow figs in marginal climates and grow figs in the South, Smith is definitely hard to beat. And it's definitely trending right now. So this is a good time to show you the Japanese espalier method in action. So this was a fig that we planted this spring. We completely removed the upright shoot, bent the rest of the shoots down. There's 3 shoots here going north-south. One there. We'll probably eventually remove that one and just have them running north-south, because we found that too many branches will shade out the fruit, and that's problematic. So we're training them with just some blocks of wood and bricks, holding them down horizontal like this. You can see where they've grown up here, and then we'll cut that off. The buds along here will shoot up new shoots next year, and those will grow nice and thick and eventually be like the shoots on the older figs. Okay, this is LSU Tiger, and the figs do get bigger than this. It seems like this one is basically at the end of its season. You can see little cracks forming there. So it's an early season fig. It's a newer release from the LSU breeding program. You can see it's got those little stripes like most of those LSU Celeste hybrids do. And this is a sugar fig. It's got this light, juicy apple-like flavor to it. So it lacks that rich berry flavor. It's got a very light, refreshing apple flavor to it, I would say. And it's bright, it's tasty, it's a very productive fig. In case you're wondering, This one is going to be cut back, and the low branches like this one are going to be trained laterally in the espalier system. So this one is just went in the ground this year, and we are going to cut most of that growth off and do the Japanese espalier. So this is one of my favorite cold hardy figs, and this one's called Florea, and the figs on it are big. I mean, that's a pretty decent sized fig, especially for a cold hardy variety. And I've heard some people talk some stink about Florea over the years, and so I'd like to just mention my thoughts on it. So I've heard some people say that they didn't think it was any good. So I'll remind you, fig growers, that the first season or 2 or 3 or 4 that a fig grows and produces fruit from a small start, like you would typically plant, you're not gonna get the ultimate representation of the fig's quality in those first couple of years. The figs are gonna be smaller, they're gonna be less tasty, they may ripen at different times than they will in the future. And Florea is one of those that was kind of mediocre the first few years, and I like that it produced early, because this one actually started ripening in July for us, and it's September 25th now. So we've been getting big, beautiful figs like this off this Florea for going on 2.5 months now. And Florea is a nice sugar fig, I would say. And it doesn't have that rich berry flavor. It's got this light pulp like this. And it's nice and sweet and figgy. And it's got this slightly savory thing going on. It's almost like a little bit peppery. And this would just be great on like pizza or something like that. Used in processing perhaps. And it's really good fresh eating too. It's definitely not bad. It's not one of our best, but it's definitely not a crappy fig that you don't want to grow. It's big, it's tasty, it's extremely productive. We get more fruit off this one than any other variety. And I mean, it has just been pumping out the fruit just every day. Big fat figs like this for months. And I mean, it's got another month to go. It's got little green figs all over it. It's got these really deeply lobed leaves. So Florea is really good. We like it a lot. It flavor wise, it's not a Smith or a Campanier or anything like that, but it's tasty, it's good, it's highly productive, really reliable, and quite cold hardy, and does great in shorter season areas. So highly recommended for all those purposes. This is a fig I've talked about before in the past. This is Italian Letizia. It's another Mount Etna type fig. You don't see this one for sale a lot, but it's a neat one. It's mid-season ripening, and we have it outdoors, and it produces nice edible fruit outdoors. It's very, very similar to Chicago Hardy. It's got that rich berry pulp inside, very good flavor, and definitely one that I would recommend checking out for cold hardy outdoor growing. You can see it's got that blocky Mount Etna type leaf to it, and the flavor's good, production's good, definitely a winner. This fig is Peter's Honey, and we haven't had any ripe fruit outside yet. We had some in the high tunnel earlier this season, and this one I would say is potentially good for outdoor cold hardy growing, but not totally sure yet on it. Quality was really good, but I'm just not a huge fan of honey figs myself. I like a more intense flavor, but Peter's Honey is one that you might want to look into if you like honey figs. Seems to have decent cold hardiness, and it hardens off the wood really well. Like you can see, we're still about a month out from frost, and that's already nice and brown and hardened off. It's done growing for the year for the most part. Seems to handle overwintering pretty well. Black Bethlehem, another solid Mount Etna type fig. Just your typical purple, very similar to Chicago Hardy in a lot of ways. Blockier leaf. Another fine choice for outdoor growing in cold hardy climates. Also Gino's Black, another really good fig. I'm not sure if it's Mount Etna type. It looks kind of like it, but this leaf is a little bit more lobed and has some more contours to it. You can see a lot of fruit on there. This one ripens outdoors pretty well. very similar to Chicago Hardy in a lot of ways. Dark purple fruit, redder inside, reddish inside. It's good. And you'll notice there's not a lot of ripe fruit on these ones outside, and that's because one, they're being grown outdoors in Kentucky, so they're just now starting to really ripen fruit. And two, there are animals that come and eat them at night. So that's why we have this amazing cage now, this amazing protection over the fig tunnel. Really prevents that from happening. We also trial some figs in containers outside. This is one of them. This is Atriano, and it's interesting. I'll give it that. It gets big. They do sometimes split here, maybe because we had a lot of rains in the last few days. It's got this amazing pink pulp in here, and I would consider it most likely a honey fig, although it's got some qualities of a berry fig also. This one's popular up in New England, I've heard, and up in different suburbs of Pittsburgh and New York and whatnot. Pretty nice fig, thicker skin, and very big, very fleshy. Has somewhat of like a melony flavor to it, I'd say. It's juicy. It's juicy for sure. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Hope you learned a few things about growing cold hardy figs, maybe heard of a few new varieties. As always, we sell these on our website. We'll ship them right to your door. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe. Please tell other people about the channel. And thanks for watching.